Okay, Pete, let's talk about member meetings. I think one of the reasons why an employer might decide to join the captive, other than all the things we've just discussed, is the ability to share best practices with members. So if I am a member of the ParetoHealth captive, what are those member meetings like? What should I expect from attending one of those?
First, I think one of the more valuable pieces of Pareto, the fact that it's a member-owned captive. Okay, this is a captive that's not built by an insurance company. It's not built by a reinsurer. It's not owned by a broker. Pareto is the captive manager, but we set the members up to succeed. Okay, first at the core, that's what exists. Okay, as a participating member in the captive, you want to meet the other members that you're taking risk with. Okay, you want to meet them because again, you want to hear about their initiatives, which are the same as yours. Right, you're like-minded employer groups. Okay, I also mentioned the vendors previously. The member meetings, are a great way to get educated. Take that additional step in the captive, the next step in your captive progression. Remember, employers that are buying the captive aren't buying insurance over a 12-month period, right? They're buying insurance over a 4 or 5 year period, right? So again, go to the member meetings, get educated, meet the people you're taking risk with, learn from the other employers.
Sure.
More importantly, as a member, if you're actively involved and you want to have an impact, you have the ability to get a board seat, right? Board members are making active decisions as it pertains to risk, as it pertains to capital, as it pertains to vendorships in the program. So again, having the ability to actually make an impact from a decision maker process is a wonderful thing here at Pareto.
Now, are these required? I mean, am I required to go? Am I obligated to go? Is it optional? What's the stance of Pareto
Well,
on
just
that?
like everything else at Pareto, we're not requiring it, but we strongly recommend that you get to a member meeting because again, you get credit off your renewal. It's part of that participation at the member meeting.
Okay.
But I think to really maximize the captive experience, right, to really understand what your peers are doing as you progress in healthcare. And by the way, healthcare always changing, different vendors this year than last year, always progressing in that spot. You want to get to the member meetings to stay on top of your healthcare and make those necessary changes.
Well, I think you kind of answered my next question, but I know is one that comes up is, well, that sounds great, but if I go 1 year, why would I need to keep going, right? If I got all the things in the first year, why do I need to go 7 years from now?
Yeah, first you're gonna have a great time. Because Pareto does member meetings in great spots, and that's wonderful. But again, the second is your healthcare is always changing, right? The different types of claims that we see, the different types of vendors that we try to employ. By the way, always looking at the captive structure. Does the captive structure that we have today, can it benefit from changes going forward? You want to be a part of that discussion. You want to vote, by the way, the board members in, right? If you have somebody that you know and like, that's influential, that has been a member of the captive and done the right thing via the captive and for themselves, you want to have the ability to vote that person onto the board. That person might be you. So again, all things that you don't want to miss, you want to make sure, put that on the calendar far out. Absolutely strongly recommend that you attend all these member meetings.
Well, Pete, I know you've probably gotten this question before. Why doesn't ParetoHealth do member meetings in the Cayman Islands? Because I've heard about other captives doing that. Why are yours onshore for the most part?
Well, all of our captives are based in Tennessee, okay? For the simple fact that there's really no tax advantage or any other financial advantage for captives to be offshore anymore. The states have kind of leveled that playing field, okay? I also think that all the businesses that we write into our program are domestic businesses. And I think like the insurance company should be a domestic captive, and I feel strongly about that. Not only that, Nashville's a great place to be. They're a wonderful host. It's a beautiful town. But we also, again, have member meetings throughout the country and other wonderful spots.
Yeah, I think there's this lure for the exoticness of the Caymans, right? But then you effectively said that realistically there's no advantages from a tax perspective. It might sound fun to go to a Cayman, but we also have a responsibility to be.
By the way, we've taken 2 member meetings the last couple of years offshore, the Bahamas and St. Thomas. So we will go offshore occasionally, but not for the financial reasons for the captive to be domiciled there.
Well, and so other than that, like, am I, as an employer, am I funding my trips? How many people get to go with me? Like, tell me some of the logistical questions that might come up.
Yeah, so again, you're going to pay your own way to get there. Obviously, we are going to negotiate all the things that you do when you get there. We have some great events. You mentioned Nashville. We have a wonderful singer-songwriter tradition that we do there. But again, you're going to want to pay for this in the sense that you're going to want to be there because I think you're going to get a tremendous amount out of the meeting. Again, meeting the other members, I think it's a part of that education piece that you want to be a part of. And so, yes, you'll have to pay out of your own pocket to get there.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.